Lovely. Hello and welcome to the Super Corona Bros podcast.
Woo!
With the two
Whoa, that
most
was loud.
positive podcast hosts.
Welcome to the Pause Pod. With your hosts, with the most coronavirus, that is.
Yeah, me and
Owen
Mark
and
about
Mark.
actually got coronavirus. Yeah. I remember at the end of the last episode, or at some point in the last episode, we were like, oh yeah, we're going to be on it for drinks tomorrow night. We mentioned that. And yeah, the whole group ended up getting coronavirus from a certain establishment. Don't get sued, but from a certain establishment in Temple Bar.
Yeah, rhymes with mad mobs. Just saying. Stay away, people. Stay away. But yeah, I was editing the episode there today. I was just listening to us. Like, we sounded so carefree, talking about pints. Sounded so healthy. Our lungs
Stupid
were full of
cunts.
oxygen. Yeah. Little did we know, as fate would have it, the following day we would be inflicted with this plague.
Yeah.
And we've been fine. We've been fine.
I've been grand. But yeah, and then there's massive amounts of cases as well, so it wouldn't even matter. Like, we wouldn't be recording in person anyway. So, but
Oh yeah.
and then to add on top of this, so we're recording on a Sunday because on Wednesday, as I was going out before I went there to get my my corona test, I was looking to start editing episode 19, and I didn't have it in the folder. And I realized that I had been deleting files, and I must have deleted it, and I was freaking out. I couldn't believe that I did it. So then we recorded a really shitty episode. The two of us, like Mark
Maybe
particularly.
the worst episode.
Oh, I think it was easily the worst episode. But the two of us was absolutely fucking bollocks. And then having to talk about things we've already talked about was a bad episode. And then exporting my audio. And I noticed that there was episode 19 not right there. It was in a different location. Under the same folder. There's two folders on my fucking computer now called Paropod.
Even the computer got coronavirus.
Even the computer got the coronavirus. And then I was like, oh, fine, we'll just edit it and change up what we've recorded. We can reuse it. And my microphone wasn't plugged in the entire time, so all my audio was completely unusable. And here we are now, re-recording a re-recording.
Yeah, this is like the third go with this episode, which is so demoralizing, especially when,
You're dying.
Especially when you're dying. Yeah, this could be our last transmission. But, yeah, Jesus, talk about a punch in the gut.
Oh, fuck me, it was bleak. Well,
It was pretty funny, though.
it was fucking hilarious. And, like,
Yeah.
it was the laugh that we needed. So, episode 19 turned out alright. Episode
Yeah.
20, we'll see how we go.
Absolutely, it's a work in progress.
Yeah, and then episode 21, we're going to be talking about your recommendation, Texas Chainsaw.
That's it.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, can't wait. That's a big one.
Haven't seen it. I haven't watched it yet, but, there's a few days to watch it.
We've loads of time.
Have you been anyway since we talked last? This has been ages now, actually, since, like, between when we recorded episode 19 and then the official release, the official recording of episode 20.
Yeah. Yeah, how long is that? That's what, like...
2
maybe
weeks?
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah, full 2 weeks, actually, yeah. Since that fateful night.
Lots has happened since.
Yeah. Little did we know. But I've been fine, Basically just in my room for the past 2 weeks straight. So,
Yeah.
I think I'm all done tomorrow, though, so...
Yeah.
I'll be out and about, doing bits. I haven't watched that much either, really,
Just been playing chess.
Yeah, I've been playing chess and watching Sopranos, which is like, I don't know. It does the job. It keeps you occupied, Sopranos, great. Finished season 3. First time I've been into a TV show for so long. Yeah, it's amazing. Amazing show.
Who's your favourite character?
Definitely Chris. Chris
Yeah.
Maltasanti. What a king.
Christopher.
Tony's also a king,
Yeah, but Tony's Tony. Like, you're boring if you say Tony Soprano's your favourite character.
Yeah, of the Sopranos. Yeah, definitely Chris. But they're great at villains, great at making you want something to happen, and then like just pulling the rug out from underneath you, and something else happens, or like you don't get the catharsis that you want. You know, it's great TV show. It's like
it's The Sopranos.
It's the Greek theater of our age, or whatever. You know, Shakespeare or whatever.
It's Shakespeare. It's Greek. It's some fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know. The Italians, something to do with the Italians.
Yeah, did you see that it's kind of got like a second wind, The Sopranos, because of lockdown, because it was like it had like its first like burst of energy or whatever when it first came out. But now like everyone is watching The Sopranos again because of lockdown.
Yeah, and Now TV. I never had access to it before.
Yeah, Now TV is very good.
It's pretty good, but you have to pay for anything extra, you know. You get your basic package, and then everything else is like $89.99 per week if you want to watch one game of football or something like that.
The TV is the only thing worth it on Now TV, like the television shows, because you get like all the box sets, all the like HBO shit, which is like more or less is the only reason why anyone really has Now TV, I guess. Although it does have like loads of good sitcoms, like it's got Parks and Rec and Will and Grace and stuff like that. But the film side of it is fucking shit. Like they just have everything that you've already seen before. It's like a worse version of Netflix.
Yeah, we have
and
to
it's
pay
15
for a lot of
quid
films
extra.
As well,
Yeah,
it's
15 quid a week. It's 15 quid a month for the TV, and then if you want to get the films, it's another 15 quid a month. So it's 30 quid a month for films and TV.
Yeah, that's before you get to the sport. Load of bollocks.
Yeah, and I remember Luke saying to us that he was paying for the sport and he watched like 2 games or something like that. It is a complete fucking rip-off.
Yeah, that was the start of lockdown. People were desperate just to watch football.
Desperate for content.
You know? Yeah, watching fucking Danish second division teams play. And then everyone realised, oh no, this isn't actually entertaining. There's a reason we didn't watch this in the first place, you know? But yeah, I've just been doing that. What have you been up to yourself? How's your
I've been
return been?
Cracking on with movies, man. I've watched so many films. Where to start? I guess I'll start with Christmas with the Kranks, just to get this over with. To pull us back in time to Christmas. Watched Christmas with the Kranks before Christmas, obviously. People fucking hate this movie, and I don't understand why. I just wanted to mention that. Like,
it's perplexing. It's just a comfy Christmas film.
There is a certain level of it that I understand why people hate it. Because, like, when I started watching it, I was like, I hate every single fucking person in this film. Like, there's no one. But, like, I kind of feel like that's the point. There's no one likable in the film. Tim Allen is a fucking asshole in it.
Yeah, he's evil in this film, you know? But, like, he's so... Or the people around him are so terrible to him and his family that you're still on his side, you know? Like, he kicks cats and, like, he tackles children to the ground on their front lawn or whatever.
Yeah, Dewey.
Yeah, he's like Dewey's in this, which is great to
Dewey's
see him
the only
doing something.
likable character.
But Tim Allen's just like a horrible person, and he's a terrible husband, and he's a terrible father, terrible neighbor,
worse neighbor.
yeah, it's just like he just pulls it out the bag anyway, you know. It's just Tim Allen doing Tim Allen things. It's a great little Christmas film for the whole family, you know.
But even like the daughter, Beth, is that her name or some shit? I can't remember her name. But anyway, when she, because you're like, like the entire way through the film, they're always like, everyone fucking loves Beth. Beth is the best. And then Beth comes into the film, and she's a fucking asshole as well. Like, she's just like, hey, what's up? I've been gone for 2 months. Here's my fiance that you don't know about. And guess what? He's coming home for Christmas, whether you like it or not. And you're like, you're a fucking bitch. You're a fucking asshole as well.
Yeah, she just ruins her parents' Christmas getaway. Like, to impress this fiance that she only just met onto her suffering parents that just want to have some time alone together or whatever. You know, and we're supposed to think she's like this sweet little angel or whatever, or everyone loves her. It's a load of rubbish. Tim Allen's completely in the right. He just, like, you almost understand his bitterness and his absolute, like, complete corruption as a person and as a member of the community, because everyone around him just treats him like shit. You know,
I'd become a fucking asshole if I lived in that neighborhood.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, there's so many weird parts in it, though. You know,
there's loads. There's like bits of it that like genuinely like remind me of like a horror film. Like the whole town like cult aspect of it, I found to be quite disturbing and horrifying. Like there's something like it is that like that thing about like conformity, which people have a problem with the film. Like the film is about conformity, but it's like it's so like blatant in the film, where I feel like it's almost like a critique of that. Like it's the suburban life. Like everyone has to be the same. You have to have a sense of community, within like modern America, or whatever. But like it's so blatant in the film that I feel like it's almost a critique of that nearly.
Yeah.
And the fact as well that like no, everyone is a fucking asshole in the film. It's almost like you're meant to hate them, which like goes against like, oh yeah, well, we're all in this together, even though we're all fucking assholes.
Yeah, definitely go along with that reading. It's like an anti-suburbia kind of thing,
Yeah.
Like Tim Allen's just trying to escape. He just wants one Christmas away to spend with his wife after working hard all this time, and he's just dragged back in by the gravitational pull of like these pig-headed suburbanites who like just can't imagine anything to be out of place at any given point.
Yeah.
Especially in Christmas, it's all about tradition and like rituals and stuff like that. But there's weird parts like when he goes around like handing out like his notice to the whole office. Like,
I was just thinking about that because I was like, oh wait, the first thing that he does is just prints out. He's like, listen, I am not doing Christmas. Like he goes like.
Imagine someone actually did that in office.
I'd be like, so you're an absolute fucking psychopath.
Yeah.
Like, you're about to shoot up the fucking building.
Yeah, you need help. You need to get away.
Yeah, you really, like, go, man. You really need to go.
Please go, by any means.
He goes so far with, like, the not doing Christmas thing so quickly and so abruptly that, like, you almost understand as well why people are like, fuck this dude. We're going to make him do Christmas now.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's definitely kind of, like, it's like dialectics or something. It's
yeah,
like,
there's something going on.
I don't know, but it's the fact that he has to go to all these extreme measures just like demonstrates to the dystopian kind of like hell world that Tim Allen's character lives in. That he feels the need to go around to every single person and hand out a formal notice of the fact that he's going to be away for Christmas.
Yeah, he just walks around and just basically tells them to go fuck themselves.
Yeah, even the way his wife refuses to go on the getaway as well at first because Tim Allen isn't going to give $600 to the church, like the yearly donation. Like he has to give a tithe not only to his colleagues and to his employer and to like the sort of cult of suburbia itself. He has to give feudal tithes to the actual church itself.
Yeah,
like the old tithe to God and stuff like that.
You gotta give money to the police force as well and stuff like that.
It's all in there. It's all in
there. There definitely is loads of stuff like that in the film. But people fucking hate it for that reason. But I don't understand why. I think it's even if it didn't have all this type of shit in it, and it was like. If it didn't even have any of that stuff, I still don't understand why anyone would hate the movie. Like, it's a fucking Christmas movie. Like,
yeah, it's grand. It's like Deck the Halls.
Yeah, it is. And it's like fucking Jingle All the Way and whatever the fuck. Any of those fucking kind of shitty Christmas movies. But yeah, like I liked Christmas with the Kranks. I was surprised. I was expecting it to be way worse than what it actually turned out to be. A lot like Spring Breakers.
Oh yeah, jeez, I forgot we were talking about that.
Yeah, Spring Breakers. I watched that last week. Man, it's a fucking great film. It's so good. Again, a film that like I think a lot of people hated when it first came out, because the trailer to Spring Breakers is very different to like a Harmony Korine film, which this is, but it still kind of is what the trailer implied it to be, I guess. I don't know. Spring Breakers is such a weird film.
Yeah, it is. It's just a Korine film, It's all over the place. Like, I know his like philosophical thesis, back when he made Gummo anyway, when he's first the rising star of like that sort of scene back in the 90s, he says something about how film narrative hasn't moved forward in something like 80 years, or from that point on. So like back in D.W. Griffith's, like the 3-act structure, like just sort of, that's the sort of film language we understand. Like there's a rise and a fall, conflicts, inciting incident, all that stuff, and like we expect all these things to happen, and when they don't happen, it's really jarring, but not jarring in like a really like superficial way, in that you might miss something interesting happening just because it's out of the norm or it doesn't fit into what we expect to happen. I think that's what all his films are about, subverting that narrative expectation and sort of taking all these elements from like vaudeville and like carnival acts and sort of like the cinema of the attractions. So like all his films are really disjointed and there's no like conventional act structure really, and it really applies to like Gummo's a really obvious example of like vignettes and like completely disparate stories that sort of dovetail and like interweave together to produce like a coherent whole. But Spring Breakers is like a lot more sensible, but like still the same kind of thing.
I think Spring Breakers is nearly even more, not like incomprehensible, but there's no other word that I can think of to describe like the like narrative. Abstract. Yeah, it's like it's a weird flow to a film. I remember like last time when we were talking about this, like we were really talking about like the sense of like it being a dream, and it is that flow. Like if I was to describe to someone like the plot of Spring Breakers and just like was like, oh yeah, it's with these girls and they go on spring break and they go to jail for a bit and a guy comes in and breaks them out and then like they experience a life of crime or whatever. And if I was to describe someone like that is what Spring Breakers is, I'd be completely lying to them. But I'd also be telling them the truth because it's like that is the plot, but it's also
vibes.
It's vibes. This film is vibes. And like the audio is like so hard to describe as well. The like overlaying of narration kind of in a sense, but it's not really narration. It's just like fucking like just a random scene that will be happening and then all of a sudden it's like spring break forever, spring break and shit like that.
It's like Trash Humpers.
Yeah,
it's almost like a precursor to this, and just the way it like you know the way Trash Humpers sort of started to make sense in a weird way at the end, like a really like convoluted sense, which is like I suppose this whole point. You can almost read Trash Humpers as like a precursor to Spring Breakers because Spring Breakers does the same thing, but in like a really like heavy way. It's like Trash Humpers on ecstasy or something, you know? Like it's like a lot faster. It's a lot like more intense, and the colors pop. There's lots of neons and stuff, and even like the audio and the like the sound design.
Use
and
some
montages
like as well.
Yeah, montage. Yeah, especially it's like so stylized. Like as you say, if you explain it in like a conventional narrative sense, it doesn't make any sense because it's not about that. It's like it's a different kind of film.
It's like literally something to experience is the only way that I could really describe it. It is like an experience to have, and then like when you're in the experience, it's kind of like you either like it or you don't. But I think like afterwards can really like change your opinion on it. Like I like Trash Humpers after watching Trash Humpers. Watching Trash Humpers was fucking awful.
Yeah.
Afterwards, it's really cool to talk about. It's not even cool to talk about. It's just cool to like think about, kind of, and like just like think about like the vibes and the tones of what was going on in the film. And like Spring Breakers as well is kind of like that. But Spring Breakers is really fun to watch still. Especially like the end. Like I think the ending is very cathartic. Like it's not even cathartic. It's like, I guess it is a sense of catharsis, but like they're just like them going through to like the place. I don't know where they're going to, like some mansion, whatever, some party, and the girls just go ahead and start shooting up everything. But it is like because I was watching it, and it's beautifully shot because it's like the two girls in their neon yellow bikinis with their neon pink balaclavas on, with fucking alien James Franco, who's fucking amazing in the film. But they're walking down this like neon pink bridge, and it's all black around. And I was looking and I was like, oh, this feels like a dream, whatever. And then James Franco was like, it feels like a dream. And I was like, yeah, alien, yeah, you get it, man. And then he gets shot, and the girls just like walk through, like they don't even break their stride. They just keep walking, and like it's like bullets can't touch them. They're completely invincible. And there's no tension in it, but like it's just mesmerizing. I don't know how to describe this film. It's a weird, fantastic film. Like it is great, I think.
Yeah, fantastical. That's a good description. It's like an artifact from a different world, a parallel universe where like they make films in a different way.
Yeah.
And like maybe in that universe, everyone would be like, "Whoa!" Like this would be like a blockbuster, but it's made in a weird way. But
it's like an anti-blockbuster.
Yeah. Like in this timeline, in this universe, serves as like a weird kind of contrast. It like sort of subordinates itself to this like broader montage where like you sort of need to watch Spring Breakers in the context of like a Disney film, like one of those, like, because it was advertised, as you say, as one of those like breakout Disney girls kind of movies.
Selena Gomez and whoever the fuck her name is, I can't remember her name. Girl from High School Musical.
Vanessa Hudgens.
They're in a movie where they're in bikinis, guns, and there might be boobs.
Boobs. Yeah. So you have to sort of watch it in that sense, and then it makes a lot more sense that way, I think.
Because I think it's about, because like it's almost like a critique of that as well, because people would have went to this thinking that like, oh shit, gonna get to see Selena Gomez's boobs, and then they go and they watch a fucking Harmony Korine film, and like it's like Harmony Korine saying like, fuck you for thinking you were gonna get what you want. I'm not gonna give you what you want. Yeah, it's like he like cuckolds his fucking audience nearly.
Yeah, he cooks the audience.
And like it is like that, because it's like he and like you don't get the fucking violence that you think you're gonna get either, and you don't get anything that you would expect from like any of the promotional material for this film, and it is obviously done on purpose, and in that sense I think like Spring Breakers in a way has way more of like easy to identify message and themes within the film.
Yeah, it's like it's a lot clearer to read than his other stuff.
Yeah,
you know, like it's not like something that you have to really like sit down. It's not like Trash Numbers where you have to spend an hour talking about it afterwards to be like, oh, that's what the message was, you know.
For you to finally start liking it.
Yeah. Yeah, you just like it. It's like an immediate kind of like assault on the senses.
Yeah, which
is like the strategy of the film, but also like sort of his attitude, like Korine's attitude as a filmmaker. Like it's a punch in the face.
He's such a cool film.
He's such a cool dude.
He is a cool dude.
Such a cool dude.
Even
I wish he made more stuff.
I wish he made way more stuff. I wish he came out with like a film like every 2 or 3 years.
But the last one was rubbish though. Beach Bum.
Oh, Beach Bum. I was gonna say Julian Donkey Boy. Not that's years or Mr. Lonely. I think I need to watch Julian Donkey Boy and Mr. Lonely. I think they're the only one, and Beach Bum. But like, I might not watch Beach Bum.
Yeah, Beach Bum is shite. So bad. It's like Spring Breakers on crack, but like in a bad way. In a bad way,
because like I'd say like Trash Bumpers is Spring Breakers on crack.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, crack maybe. I don't know.
Meth.
Yeah, meth maybe.
But like I think as well, like there's still that like identifiable Korine thing where it is like these like people that have been like kind of left behind, like, and these girls are like way more literally left behind because they're literally like by themselves on college campus and they want to go somewhere, and so they have to engage in crime in order to get there, which is like, you know, these people have been completely left behind by like society as a whole, and there's no opportunity for them to make enough money to be able to experience any sort of freedom. Like they're constantly trapped, and then there's like a kind of thing about like how much is too much freedom, really, I guess. I don't know. There's ways you could read the film that way, I think, but it is way more identifiable in this film than in other Korine films, I feel like. But yeah, that's what I think about Spring Breakers anyway. I don't know what the fuck you were saying, like, to add on to me or not, but
well, forget it, because I forget as well.
Fuck it, it's gone.
Yeah, but yeah, speaking of the male gaze, I watched The Virgin Suicides last week on
whenever.
Yeah, whenever. I watched it one of the days anyway. Have you ever seen Virgin Suicides?
No, I haven't watched it yet. Sofia Coppola, isn't it?
Yeah, Sofia Coppola. The daughter, I think, of Francis. It's based on the book by some guy called Eugenides. So it's based on a book, but like it's about like these 5 girls who are like sort of trapped within the control of a patriarchal society, I suppose. It's this really like smart, ironic film about how we think of girls and women and like the male gaze as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
As a society and all that stuff, all that fun stuff. But it's done so well. It's like really stylized. It's like it's almost so well hidden. Or no, it's almost so like on the nose that you don't even notice. It's like it's played straight, you know.
Yeah.
Like you'd miss the whole irony of it if you just thought it was like a sort of like quirky kind of like coming of age drama or whatever. Like because there's loads of them. So like it plays by the language of those kinds of films.
And I think though as well, the Virgin Suicides is such a good name to like draw your attention to. Like this isn't gonna be a feel good film.
Yeah, definitely. Because it's told from the perspective of like they have like a mirror of like like 5 boys who are like the narrators. They're like it's told from their perspective, the 5 young boys, and they see these girls, the Lisbon girls, their names, and they live in a house across the street, and they're all like really beautiful or whatever, and they're like teenagers. They call it a Greek chorus, but apparently that's only because the guy who wrote it was like had a Greek second name. But it's told from like with a we pronoun, like everything is narrated as we saw them and like we did this and stuff like that. So it's from the boys' perspective, and they're always saying stuff like, "We could never understand why the Lisbon girls did what they did. We could only try to forget them." Like they're completely mystified as to like pretty much anything the girls ever do.
Yeah, these like girls are like this like foreign other that can't ever be understood. There's something to be like gazed
exactly,
at.
Yeah. It's like the whole Freudian thing, like women as the bearers of meaning and men as the makers of meaning. Like the girls are only there as like objects to be for meaning to be projected on by the boys, and like that's how they see it, and that's how the story is basically of the girls having to come to terms with that, of the world that only sees them as objects and as sort of like just sort of dummies that have like a set fate and a set destiny. Like they're supposed to do this and they can only do that, and they're not to partake in these activities or whatever. Like the mom is really controlling, and like they're not allowed to date boys and stuff like that. But yeah, eventually one by one they start committing suicide, and like that's sort of what it's built around, like the sort of the tragedy of it. And like half of that is the tragedy of suicide, as any suicide is tragic, but then the fact that it's young women committing suicide. It's like young people, and they're young girls, they're like the potential life givers and stuff like that. It's really well done, and it's like it's really smart stylistically, and it's really well shot, and like really well written, well acted as well. Kirsten Dunst is the main Lisbon sister, Josh Hart is like the heartthrob, and there's a lot of tropes built into it.
But like purposeful tropes and everything.
Yeah, they're put in there on purpose, so
it
sort of subverts it later. Like he's the heartthrob, and he gets every girl he wants, but I can't remember her name. The Kirsten Dunst isn't interested in him because she's too cool. She's like, she's mysterious. She's not putting herself
different
out there. She's different. She's not one of those girls. And so basically, it's all about like the second act is mainly about him winning her over and stuff, and he brings her to the homecoming dance and stuff, and like there's a whole scene where they have sex on the football pitch, and she wakes up the next morning and he's gone, and her sort of dealing with the fallout of that, like putting herself forward and having herself exploited and sort of used in that way. But again, like she's always been used to that. Like all the girls are used to that as just sort of things to be used, like not fully human persons. Like even the fact that we're never given their perspective, everything's told from an exterior perspective. Even his pursuit of her, even though she's the one we sympathize with more. Yeah, it's really, really cool.
That sounds like it sounds really, really good.
Yeah, I'm really late to the party on that one because I've heard so much about it, and it's like really influential in terms of style and aesthetics. I think it was 1999 it was made.
What kind of how would you describe the aesthetics and stuff like that?
It's like really playful, like it's almost like a teen comedy kind of thing, but it's obviously has like this layer underneath it when you peel it back.
Yeah,
because it's so obviously it's like a facade, and that's hiding something underneath. But like it never really like reveals its trick. Like you could read the film completely straight all the way through as just like a story of like this weird thing happened in this suburban neighborhood, and these
girls
boys
be weird.
Yeah,
and crazy.
Girls be weird, and the boys never figured it out. And at the end, but there's a lot more to it. It's like its use of like camera work and stuff, and there's just a lot to it. Basically, you should give it a watch. Definitely,
I should. It's on Netflix or something, isn't it?
It's actually not. It's actually not available. anywhere.
Oh. I think it used to be on Netflix then.
Yeah, I think maybe, but that's why I took so long to watch it, because I couldn't find it anywhere. Never got around to it, but I watched it, and I am grateful for that, because it's very. It really ties into all that stuff. It's even like Spring Breakers is like obviously very, very different, but it's the same kind of thing in terms of like Disney girls and like sort of romanticizing girlhood and like that progression from girlhood into womanhood or whatever. It's a lot like Picnic or Hanging Rock as well, and The Falling.
And it's almost and he seems to be using like kind of tropes that would be seen in like the teen comedy and stuff like that. So in a way, kind of, I wonder if like Jennifer's Body was influenced by this as well then. Because it's almost like a very similar thing as well.
Yeah, it's actually well written as well, very well written. But it was based on the book, so like probably something to do with that. But yeah, it's there needs to
be more movies like that to just like deconstruct things that you kind of take for granted in other films, or like, you know, that's like the male gaze is something that like you have to kind of learn about. But if it's in a film that's clearly critiquing that, it becomes way easier to see and to spot and stuff like that, and to understand more about. Even though the male gaze is something outside of film, obviously, but within films, it can be a way to learn about it outside of films, if you know what I mean. Films is a learning tool.
Yeah, it's all about media, you know. Yeah, images.
Yeah, I definitely have to give that. I'll have to give that a go. It sounds good.
Give it a goosey gander. Have a look.
Her new film is out now. I can't remember what it's called, but it's the one with Bill Murray. He's in it, and it's on Netflix. And my like mom, my dad, and my sister, they were watching it, and they said it was fucking shit.
Well, who?
Her Sofia Coppola's new movie.
Oh, yeah, she's a real spotty track record.
Yeah, she's real hit or miss. Cause like I walked in on one scene, and it was Bill Murray talking to his daughter, but the two of them weren't in person, basically. Like, you could tell that Bill Murray was acting in front of nothing. Like, there was no one there, and his face was CGI'd on, and you could clearly see that. And like the way that he was acting was tonally different to the way that the girl was responding to him and stuff like that. Just very poorly done. I assume it must have been something to do with Corona, but at that stage, just fucking pause production. You're just gonna make a shit film then.
Yeah, there's definitely a way around that. Yeah, she's a weird one. I know she did. Remember that film Marie Antoinette with Kirsten Dunst?
No,
2005, 2004. It's like this film about. It's like a biopic of Marie Antoinette, but like she wears like Converse and shit, and like the soundtrack is all like 2000s hits, but it's about Marie Antoinette.
Oh yeah, she's a weird director. That sounds interesting though, but like it also sounds like when in The Great Gatsby, all of a sudden fucking Kanye West music started playing during the party and was on as it, like a production of it. Was it like people were talking in the scene and in the background was Kanye West, and it's like, wait, what the fuck? Like the diegetic sound within the film is Kanye West, even though it's fucking Great Gatsby.
Yeah,
like I'm sure bizarre. Like there's a reason for that. But it's also just fucking bizarre and it's really distracting.
It's just really jarring.
And doesn't work for whatever it's trying to do, it's not doing it.
Yeah. It's just not, it's never worked. Like, just don't do it. Or maybe it has worked, but it doesn't work usually.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that shit, like, unless like it's really intentional and like consistent throughout the film, I don't think it works. But I don't know, maybe it works in Marie Antoinette. I haven't seen it. But she's a weird director. Like, I don't like I've had Lost in Translation on my list for fucking ages to watch. But I don't think I'm ever gonna be in the mood to watch it.
Yeah, is that the one with Johansson and Bill Murray?
Bill Murray again.
Yeah. No, I don't think I'll ever watch that, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean,
Bill Murray, I'm not big on Bill Murray, to be honest. I don't get him.
I kind of get that. I like him. I really do like Bill Murray, but I kind of get what you're talking about.
Like, I just don't get it. Like, what's the crack?
Groundhog Day is the crack, man. Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
And Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters is very
good, but like, is it that good?
Probably not that good. But yeah, he
has a whole man's career.
Although he was also in Zombieland, where he took the piss out of doing Garfield, so redeems himself in my eyes.
Garfield, now that's a masterpiece.
Yeah, that's a movie. Yeah, I don't know. I might see if I can. track down a couple more of her films, but also I know that she is a very spotty director, but still, she's always worth talking about.
Yeah,
her films are something to talk about at least.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was trying to see. I don't know.
What was the other thing?
There's no easy segue into whatever else I've been watching. So I've also been watching The Dance of Reality.
Okay.
By our boy Jodorowsky. Man, every time I think about it, I'm just like, I want to rewatch The Holy Mountain, but I never know if I'm going to be ready to rewatch The Holy Mountain.
I will never be ready unless I'm in a room with other people.
Yeah. I think the only time, and it can't just be me and you. We need more people there. we should meet up. We should get Orla and Isabel and force them to watch it too.
Oh God, no, that would not end well.
The end of the night, the two of us are single.
Yeah. At least we still have Jodorowsky.
But The Dance of Reality is a film that came out 2013. It's like, I don't know if it's going to keep like doing this kind of theme or whatever, but it's like kind of an autobiography, and there's a sequel, I kind of guess, called Endless Poetry that came out 2016, which is also the events of his life after The Dance of Reality, but like none of it is true at all. It's all complete bullshit. Like when you look up his actual life, Jodorowsky had a very, very tough childhood, which might be the reason why the dude's an absolute fucking weirdo.
Yeah, definitely.
And but The Dance of Reality is cool. It's way more like comprehensible than stuff like The Holy Mountain, but it's also way less comprehensible because it's like none of this is true. It's like, what? Like, where is this coming from?
Yeah, what's the message? Like, what's it trying to say?
I have no idea. There's like political stuff going on. There's a relationship between a man and his son more than anything. I think like not like a not like a relationship. Like just like a man and the son.
Okay.
like a very normal relationship to an extent because he beats the shit out of him. But whatever. But like it's like his dad was like a communist that moved to Chile from. Oh God, I can't remember where he's from.
Poland, probably.
No, where the fuck is he from? It's not
Jodorowsky.
Hungary, is it? No, it's not even Hungary.
One of those countries.
He's from his parents are from there. Where the fuck is he? Doesn't matter. Yugoslavia, I think it is. Might be there. Anyway, he's from fucking some ex-USSR country. But anyway, Jodorowsky's from Chile. But his dad was a communist, and there's a whole thing about like there's a lot of like politics going on in the film, and like growing up with these surroundings and trying to find yourself, and it's just a weird fucking film. It's a weird film that I don't really read in it's a film where I don't really read that much into. It's more just like weird shit going on, but there definitely is like a message underneath. It's just way less, in a way the film itself is way more comprehensible than The Holy Mountain, but because of that, the like weirdness and the subtext is way less easy to read because it's way easier to just focus on the actual film. But I did really enjoy it, and there's loads of bits that I can remember back to and stuff like that. Like his dad goes off to like assassinate the Chilean dictator by like taking care of his horse. And then he poisons the horse, and when he's about to shoot the Chilean dictator, his hands freeze up like his hands are, like, closed up, and he walks around for the rest of the film like that.
The claw.
And then there's stuff about like religion and mysticism and all this weird shit. And there's his mom in it. The relationship with the mom, Mark, you can actually go, oh no, you can't have that reaction.
Why is he riding the mom?
No, but his mom gets naked in front of him quite a lot, and she's quite a large-breasted woman.
Ooh, it's Freud. It's Freud.
But like to the point where like Jodorowsky is like such a weirdo, that there, and like when you learn about the actual relationship between him and his mom, and the way that she hated him, because of how the circumstances of his birth. If you want to learn into it, look it up. I don't want to really talk about that, but there's like he is such a weirdo that there's definitely like a reason for why he portrayed his mom like this in the film. And also it's his son plays his dad within the film, and Jodorowsky himself just randomly shows up like holding his younger self, like really weird shit. Just fucking, he's a weirdo. He's just a weird fucking dude.
Yeah, he needs help. Poor guy.
But I did enjoy it. But I don't really have that much to say about it because I didn't read that much into like the subtext, and it's just like a weird, surreal film. It's good though. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I need to watch more Jodorowsky. Seems like an interesting guy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and like his films are like really weird and interesting as well. Like the dude himself is a fucking enigma. I want to watch his first film because apparently his first film, like he had to like flee the fucking cinema afterwards, and people pelted rocks at his car when he's leaving and stuff like that.
That's what you want. Which one's
If you're
that?
not making a movie
El
with that
Topo?
reaction, you're not making. No, it's not El Topo. It's a film that came out before El Topo. But if you're not making a movie that elicits that reaction out of people, what are you doing?
Yeah.
If people don't want to cause harm to you after your film, you made a bad movie.
Yeah, exactly. You want it to have real world impacts. Is it Fando e Lis?
Yes, that's it.
Ah,
Fandom, yeah. That's
is
the
an
first one.
adaptation of a play.
And it's only, I don't know, it's not even, it's an adaptation of a play that he remembers. It's not even that he's like basing it exactly on it. It's like, oh, I remember this play. I'm just going to recreate that. I think this is what happened.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, and it's only like 90 minutes as well. It's one of his shorter movies because like most of his films now are like 2.5 hours long. Like, Down to Reality was like 2 hours and 20 minutes, I think. I think that's how long it was, like 2.5 hours. But yeah, Holy Mountain I still think about that movie. Over 2 years later, I still think about that movie.
It was a bit intense.
Oh, it's insane. I can't wait to go back to it. But again, time and a place. Need to find.
Time and place. I don't think right now is the time.
No.
Oh,
Definitely
no.
not. But yeah, I also watched Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh, yeah.
For the first time. Throwing it back to Corinne, I guess. I feel like Napoleon Dynamite has a lot of similarities to Gummo in a way, but it doesn't have like intertwining stories, and it's not like it's a little. Well, I guess it actually does have a kind of vignettes, and it does. Thinking about it now, actually does have a structure similar to Gummo, where these like little vignettes happen and they intertwine together. But whereas Gummo is a lot like some people find Gummo really disturbing because of its tone, and like the stuff that happens in the film, like nothing really gruesome or violent happens in Gummo, but it's a very uncomfortable movie. Whereas Napoleon Dynamite is like a warm hug, and it's like wholesome, and it didn't have the ending that I thought it was gonna have, because I thought because it's a teenage comedy, and you'd expect that at the end because like he does the dance at the end of the film, which I didn't know that the end of the film was the dance, like him doing his little dance, whatever, and he's doing it from the entire crowd, and you expect for people to take the piss out of him, but instead they stand up and they cheer, and Napoleon like has a happy ending, which you wouldn't really think would be the case, but it's a happy film. It's a feel good film.
Yeah, it sounds strange.
It is strange. I want to watch it again. Like, I watched it earlier this week.
Where'd you watch it?
I want to watch it again. It was on Now TV.
Oh, all right.
But I want to watch it again it's just a warm hug. It's just a nice, feel-good film, but it's also really weird. It's really fucking weird. And it does have ties to Gummo, I feel like. I don't know, when did Gummo come out?
97.
Oh, then Gummo definitely had influence on Napoleon Dynamite, 100%.
That is what 2004, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no way it didn't have an influence on it, because like even like Napoleon has a brother as well, and his brother, like the way in Gummo, the kid. I don't even know. Do the characters have names in Gummo?
Yeah, Solomon is the kid with the weird face, and then Tumblr is the one who looks like Neil.
He does look like Neil. But like Napoleon and his brother are like the two of them in a way, kind of, not really. But
which
kind
one's
of.
which?
Napoleon is like Solomon, or whatever the fuck he said his name was.
Oh, okay.
and then because he has his brother as well, and his brother's like his older brother, like the dude and thing, and also he ends up like getting a girlfriend and all. In a way, kind of like in Gummo.
Yeah, actually very similar.
But like all the actors like that play the teenagers in the school, like some of them are like blatantly not teenagers, but I think that's kind of the point. Like they're way too old looking, and I think they drew on wrinkles anyway. Like it's kind of the point is that like it's like, oh, it's kind of weird that this teenager is talking to this middle-aged guy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like stylized kind of thing.
And it is a super stylistic film as well. Like it has really nice use of color and really like symmetrical shots and nice like tracking like camera shots and stuff like that. Really, really cool. And it also has like these shots that like really they fuck around with proportions kind of.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Really good. Really, really good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
And it's less than an hour and a half as well. It's an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh really? Jesus.
Yeah.
You love when a film is less than an hour and a half. It's amazing.
And I got that Corinne feeling as well. Like there was moments where like I was completely like sucked into the film, and I was just like experiencing the vibe and whatever. And then there'd be moments where like I would break away and like I would like kind of like come to again. It was like a weird sense of like coming in and out of a dream that I had with this film. It was really fucking cool, which I get with Korean films as well. I think it's just kind of the non-linear structure of a film. Might have that effect or something.
Yeah, I love when a film has that kind of like rhythm to it. You know, it feels like you're just drawn into it, and then you like snap out of it. Like that's the best part about a cinema for me. I always love when you went into a cinema.
Yeah,
and
you're
then, like,
sucked in.
Yeah, it's just like everything goes dark. Like, that's the whole point. Like you're supposed to like.
It's like sensory deprivation, nearly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, and then you come out and it's like you just woken up from a dream. Everything feels like fresh and new. It's so weird.
It is weird, yeah. I miss cinemas. I miss that feeling.
Yeah, the vibe.
But even like with Napoleon Dynamite, it's like the plot summary that you'd find if you looked it up is like, no, Napoleon helps his friend Pedro to become class president. That doesn't happen until like half an hour is left in the film. Like there's an hour of the film that happens before that, and that's just like picked up at the end of the film, like. And like there's like loads of like things happening in the film, but again, it's like these little vignettes that like tie to each other, and like there's like three characters that you follow. You follow Napoleon, and you follow Uncle something, I can't remember his name, and then Napoleon's brother. Like you follow kind of the three of them throughout the film, and just stuff kind of happens. But it is that like stuck in the middle of nowhere, have nothing to really do, have no real goals because of that. But we're just gonna vibe.
Just vibe city. Something about the vibes, yeah, I don't know. It's like, that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can't reduce it down to an equation. It's all just vibes.
Just vibes. Just straight up vibes. But yeah, and then the guy that played Napoleon is in like Blades of Glory and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like,
he's a king.
He's done fuck all, but he's a king.
Yeah. Everything he's done, pretty good. So
pretty good.
Yeah. Blades of Glory, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'll take it.
It's a lot better than Balls of Fury. Got Balls of Fury.
Oh, jeez, that thing's horrific.
That thing is so actual bad. Just dog shit.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of a film that is not vibey at all, I watched Falling Down also last week.
Yes, Joel Schumacher.
Joel Schumacher, the guy who did Batman Forever. I'm sure we all know what that is. Everyone's seen that. Bat nips, stuff like that. Gay Batman.
I knocked this on after you told me about it yesterday.
Oh, really?
And I was like, I watched like the opening shots of the film. I was like, I am not in the mood to watch this film at all. I'm just going to watch something else.
Yeah, it is a bit of it's a mood piece in the sense that you have to be in a certain mood to watch it. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. It's like everyone knows the sort of character, like, you know, Michael Douglas is the main character in this. His name is Bill.
It's a really iconic looking film that I've never heard. Like I never heard of either. I never had heard of, I guess. But I knew, like, it's like you said last week when we were talking about this, that like you saw the character and it's like, oh, I recognize that. And I was the same when I looked at it. I was like, oh shit, I recognize that, but I don't know from where.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like sort of entered the canon, but like the film isn't really like a household name. Like, he's the basis of Frank Grimes in The Simpsons. Like, grimy, like the crew cut, shirt and tie, black tie, you know, like really well put together. Like, just like a really, like, he's done everything that's ever been asked of him. He's just like an office drone.
Mr. Joe America.
Yeah, true America. He's done everything he possibly can to succeed, and he's still a complete fucking failure. And that's the whole, that's
complete fuck up.
And that's what it's about. It's about him falling down into the depths of sort of desperation. I just sort of tracks him from the initial sort of opening scene where it's him in a traffic jam. Which I think is that the scene you saw, where it's like,
yeah,
it's like
and it's like real like musty, murky, brown, shitty fucking air, like hot. You can feel everything that he's feeling. You're like, this is a complete fucking shithole. Yeah, and he's stuck in traffic.
He's stuck in traffic. It's like a chorus of like car horns and like people yelling. And like just like the musty air, and there's like sweat, sweating. Sweat dripping down his brow, and he's like, I don't know, you assume he's late for work or whatever, and it just eventually builds into this crescendo, and he just fucking snaps, gets out of his car, and walks off.
How long does it take for that to happen, or does that happen like really quickly?
I think it's like 5 minutes.
It's just like, here we go.
Yeah, he just 5 minutes in the traffic jam, and he just goes on a rampage across the city. But that's
a massacre.
That's the sort of funny part of it. Like, it's really funny in some parts, and like obviously the whole setup, like that initial scene as a setup, is just ridiculous, and it sounds like the start of a joke. Like, everyone's had that moment where like you just feel like,
it sounds like the Joker.
Yeah, that's his Joker origin story. This is you actually could do this as a
Joel Schumacher did the original Joker.
Yeah, that's a pretty good take actually. But yeah, so like it is pretty ridiculous. But yeah, he gets up and leaves his car, and the guy behind him obviously gets out. He's like, "Oh, what the fuck, man?" He's like, "Where you going?" And he's like, "I'm going home." And he just walks off. Fucking Power walks off with his briefcase into the bushes. And you don't see him again for a while. But basically he goes on a rampage all across LA to get to his daughter's birthday party. And he doesn't have custody of his daughter anymore. He divorced his wife like a few years before, and now he lives with his mom. And it's not told till like halfway through the film, but he's also lost his job. But like when they're investigating when they're investigating his crimes or whatever, they're told by his mom that he's been going to work every day for the past 3 months, even though he doesn't have a job. And she's like, where has he been eating his lunches? You know, it's really like, it has like those little sort of jokes in the middle of it, like really, like, what has this guy been doing every day for the past 3 months if he's not going to work? Like, he's just completely lost it, and he's obviously been gone, like completely gone for a long time. The film is read in a variety of different ways, and a lot of people read it as like a really like reactionary, far right, almost fascist attack on minorities.
Like last week, I was really, really struggling to understand the tone of this film, because if the film was really, really serious, you'd be like, this film is just racist. Yeah. But then you're like, well, Joel Schumacher's also Jewish. And is Joel Schumacher gay? He might be gay. I don't know if he's gay. He might be gay.
Yeah, I think he is.
But yeah, and then he made this film, which is like, you'd expect it to be like a critique of that at the same time. But it's like, it also does it.
Yeah, it's like an extreme, like, I don't know. It's like an anti-critique. It's like the halls of fascist films, you know? It's like, it's going so far that it's obviously not, like, you're never at any point in the film supposed to completely sympathize with what he's doing. It's made plain that he's completely insane and like he's doing awful things. But at the same time, it's like, the reason why it's like sort of compelling to watch is like, because everyone has those sort of moments where you're like, you just want to snap, you know? Like, everyone has that sort of, you know, get pushed to the edge, and that's what he's supposed to represent. I think Schumacher did an interview afterwards, or during the promotion of the film, talking about how Bill is supposed to represent the American worker following the end of the Cold War. The quote was something like, "We won the war. Where's all the loot?" Like, you know, they won the war.
Where's my cut?
Yeah, where's my cut of the pie? They fuck all. Like, they weren't getting anything. Like, this guy, Bill, worked as a defense contractor or something like that. He built missiles for the military, protecting America, as he says multiple times through the film. But he, you know, he lost his job. His wife is gone. His kid is gone. He's alone. He lives with his ma.
He's got nothing to show for his
Yeah, he's absolutely nothing. And so he just goes around, like, you know, terrorizing people, basically.
Taking it out on the minorities.
Yeah, the first 3 or 4 people he hits are minorities, so it looks a bit bad. Especially because this was released in 93, and it was actually filmed in 92 during the LA riots that summer, I think it was. And they actually had to stop filming at one point because it was too dangerous, because like things had sort of gotten out of control. So it was really sensitive at the time, especially because the first guy he attacks is a Korean grocer, which were like the main targets of the riots. So they were like, but it was written before, obviously, so it's just sort of sort of a coincidence.
I don't know. I feel like because it's something that small, I was like, oh yeah, we just get him to we'll just shoot it now and get him to hit a Korean. Like, I feel like that was definitely intentional to invoke those feelings, especially because the LA riots. I don't know much about the LA riots. I assume that there was a lot of racial tension during the LA riots.
Yeah, well, it was Rodney King, wasn't it?
So it would have done that on purpose to spark those feelings in the viewer and to remind them of the LA riot or whatever, and for them to think about the LA riots while this white man is going on a fucking rampage, battering minorities and shooting people.
Yeah, maybe. Well, he's definitely on the wind up anyway for most of the film, because then he goes, he beats up a load of Latino gangbangers. And takes their guns. They have a big rucksack full of guns, and
nice.
He robs that. I can't remember how, but he somehow managed to do that. And then he goes to a burger place, and he arrives just after 11 o'clock, and he's he wants a breakfast meal, and they're like, "Sir, we don't do breakfast." And so he starts escalating. He's the way he does it is Michael Douglas is a really good performance from him. He raises so gradually. But then he just it just spills over, and he's suddenly shouting everywhere. And then he produces a machine gun, and he's like, "Make my burger." It's just so ridiculous.
Yeah.
And even the way he asks, they hand him his burger, and he points to the ad advertising the breakfast burger, and then he's showing the burger that he's been given, and it's all flattened and it's grey and stuff. And he turns around to everyone else in the restaurant. He's like, "Can anyone see what's wrong with this burger?" And everyone's just silent, and the kid just raises his hand, and then it just cuts to the police chasing him from the sky. It's not played totally seriously all the way through. But yeah. Then he starts beating up white people. He gives some old guy a heart attack on a golf course, and watches him as he dies, which is pretty fucked up. And then he gets he runs into a Nazi as well, and the Nazi's hiding him from the cops. And that was a moment where I think it's trying to sort of distance itself from
it's Joel Schumacher's I'm aware what's going on here, what could potentially, because if he doesn't have that scene, it's well, this is just a blatantly racist film.
I don't know, it's more this is just he's just trying to
distance himself from that.
Yeah, just get out of the way, because the Nazi's "Oh, I love you, I love your work, I love what you're fighting for, you and me, we're the same." And Bill's "We're not the same, I'm an American, you're a piece of shit." And then he shoots him. And he steals all his camo and more guns and stuff, and it's really cool. And
best part of the movie.
Yeah. And then eventually he gets to his wife's gaff, and they've fled obviously because they realize that he's coming, and he's a bit unstable, and he's sitting in his gaff, and his dog's sitting on the couch, his old dog, and he's watching home videos, and he's it's him and his wife, and he's holding his kid. And his little dog's a puppy and stuff, and he's it's a really emotional scene, but he's even in the videos he's acting weirdly, he's bought a horse for his daughter, and he's trying to make her enjoy it. He's he's shouting at her and stuff.
It's why did you not want the pony?
Yeah. Horsey, play with horsey, baby, play with horsey. It's a bit unnerving, and then but he's still watching it with tears rolling down his eyes. He doesn't see the horror that he'd already been causing. Yeah. And the whole thing is he's just going home. He just wants to return to a time when things were stable and things were good for him, and his life was paying off. But this scene, I think, sort of shows the fact that things were never actually good.
Yeah, he has an imagined, an idealized version of the past.
Yeah, so he's I don't know, the American sort of fallen middle class in the 80s and 90s, wanting to go back to the 50s, but not sort of realizing that the 50s was a myth altogether.
Come on, there's nothing wrong with the 50s. Everything was great in the 50s.
Yeah, exactly. Economically, they were okay. Like, but still, yeah, all that dysfunction with like civil rights, even within the home, like women didn't have rights, even like child abuse and stuff. But it was easier for the Bill kind of character. You know, he's still getting fucked in the 90s, but like it was slightly better for him in the 50s.
Dude's still getting fucked in 2020, but he's still acting like that.
Yeah, he's still fucking going on the rampage.
50s is where we want to be going.
But yeah, and then there's a whole scene. He goes to the pier, and Robert Duvall this entire time is like a cop who's like, it's his last day before retirement, which is another trope that the film just sort of plays up to. And he's been a desk jockey his entire career, and he's like, oh, he's the only one who's cottoned on to the guy rampaging around LA, and he's the only one who can solve it. So he's like, I'm gonna go out into the field and like, you know, make my career on the final day. And he stands up for himself, and he's like, he's a whole like sort of B plot arc. But they have a standoff on the pier, and at one point Bill goes, he realizes, he sees like the cops all down the other end of the pier, and he's surrounded, and Robert Duvall is pointing his gun at him, and his wife is there carrying with his daughter, and he's like, I'm the bad guy. It's like it never occurred to him that he was the bad guy. Like he always thought of himself as a good American who did what he needed to do to get ahead, and it just never paid off. And he explains that in a big monologue at the end. Yeah, eventually he gets shot and falls off the pier, and yeah, but it's actually the ending's actually pretty sad.
That seems to kind of like muddle the message though as well. The fact that like you do sympathize with this complete fucking monster that's just going around massacring people.
You sympathize with him to the extent that like you can relate this, you know, you're gonna snap because the guy has been fucked over. He's just he's just lashing out in the most like the guy's also mentally ill, and he's just lashing out in a really fucking weird way and a really destructive way because he's not been taught anything else. And you know, I don't know, it's like a story of self-destruction more than anything else. Like you're never made to, or the film never apologizes for what he does or it tries to make you justify it.
Yeah.
But it just sort of happens, and you feel bad for him. It's sort of like a sort of tragic character, but at the same time, he does sort of deserve everything he gets because he just you know,
he deserves to die.
Yeah, but he doesn't really he doesn't kill many people. Like the first two, the Korean grocer, he only beats him up.
He just beats the shit out of him.
Yeah. Who else?
He's just an asshole.
Yeah. I don't know. It is a pretty good film. I didn't expect it to be that good. Anyway,
you're way more positive because the last week, like, you're kind of it's kind of whatever, but you see way more positive on it.
Yeah.
With
I don't know.
Further reflection.
I've just been thinking about it, but it is. It's
a movie that makes you think.
Makes you think in a really stupid way.
Yeah, it seems like a film that definitely couldn't be made now.
No, yeah, like it's just,
or if it was, it would need to like
be more on the nose.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Yeah, I don't think you could make it. It is pretty insensitive, but I think it plays on that on purpose.
Yeah, there's no way you can make a film about that like cleanly or anything like that.
Yeah, even at the time, it wasn't. There, people were like, "Why did you make this?" And he's like, "It's about workers or something."
Yeah, like it could fucking like. Well, I think Joker's way more cringy than that, but like Joker having that kind of like the same kind of message essentially, or like that same kind of story, I guess. But Joker makes you sad by having him getting the shit kicked out of him for an hour and a half beforehand.
Joker's also like Bill is like solidly middle class, or he was, which is sort of the point. Like he's like the backlash of the fallen middle class, whereas Joker's just he's just a loser. Like he never had anything. That's sort of the moral of the story.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think I've been thinking about Joker a few times today. I don't know why. It just popped into my head a couple of times. Like every time I think about that movie, I like it a little bit less. So I need to just stop thinking about it.
I like the Joker. I thought it was.
I don't like it. I thought it was good, but I also thought like we ripped off a lot of shit from other movies, which is why it's good. Which is the best parts of it are from other films.
Yeah, I'd excuse that because the guy who made those films also kicked off the Joker, basically produced the Joker. So I was like, is it plagiarism if the guy who is plagiarizing made the original material? It is in a way, but it's also not.
He's like. You could rip me off.
Yeah, that's basically what you said.
Go for
it.
Like,
if Scorsese didn't produce that, there'd definitely be a lawsuit. They'd be like, you just copied the King of Comedy.
100%. Oh my God, yeah. There's and even like those lots of bits like where he puts the gun, where he goes like with his head and stuff like that, which is just straight out like that is literally the ending of Taxi Driver.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think it was pretty good. As good as you can expect any $1 billion film to ever be.
Yeah, fact. Yeah,
know?
It's as good as any fucking Todd Howard. Or Todd Howard is that his name, or not Todd Howard? What the fuck is his name?
Todd Phillips. Yeah.
Yeah, it's as good as any fucking Todd Phillips film is ever gonna fucking.
Yeah,
be.
Jesus, how did he make that?
Yeah, like the guy that made The Hangover.
Yeah.
Hangover's not even fucking good. Like
Hangover isn't that bad, to be fair. It's alright.
It's not great.
It's alright though. Yeah, but it's not something you'd be like, oh yes, this is a masterpiece.
It's like I know the guy that's gonna make the movie. The guy that did The Hangover, we're gonna make. I feel like, I don't know. Maybe if like David Lynch or something did the Joker, it would have turned out fucking phenomenal. Like.
But you can sort of see how he'd make that already, like, you know.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's like, it's a dumb, smart movie. Like, there's some clever things in it, but it's also fucking dumb.
Yeah. It could be done better, but
holds it back.
Comic book movies, you can't have any expectations.
You really can't. Just
stop making them.
Just popcorn movies for the most part, with a load of American propaganda in them.
Yeah, CIA shit.
Talking about movies that make me want to go on a rampage, Mark. Fucking. I watched Tetsuo, the Iron Man. Mentioned it briefly at the end of last episode. In terms of like body horror, because I've heard about this film for like how good its body horror is, and the body horror is very cool. And there's definitely lots of like really cool ideas about like the merging of like technology with humans and stuff like that, and it being like this horrifying process. And something that maybe you don't want to happen to you, but you're kind of forced into it, nearly. And I enjoyed it for that for those aspects of the film. The film is only an hour long, and it was shocking that I was fucking bored for most of it. I was on my phone for fucking ages. Yeah, I was really disappointed in this film. I thought I was gonna fucking love this film.
Yeah, it sounds amazing.
It sounds amazing, and like you could watch it and like completely. Like love it, and like I would completely understand if anyone had that reaction to the film, but for me personally, I was just fucking bored by it. I didn't think any of the like surreal, absurdist like kind of aspects of the film worked at all. Really, I don't think they added anything. They added to the kind of panic of what was going on, and it is like the music and stuff is like industrial, like metal clanking off each other and shit like that, and. All of it is added, I guess, by the fact that it's more like surreal or whatever. You don't really know what's going on. But the downside of that was I was bored. Like, I didn't know what was going on for bits of it. It didn't make a lot of sense. And it does explain it. Eventually, it tells you what's going on. But by that stage, I was bored and I didn't really care. And I didn't even finish it. The film's an hour long and I didn't even fucking finish it.
Yeah, that's great.
It's going to be fucking arsed.
Why is it an hour long?
I mean, it struggles to fucking fill out that fucking hour, so like that's why I guess.
Bizarre.
Like, I'm like the concept is so good. I don't know how it didn't flesh it out and like, cause you could come up with like, oh, what's that movie? Fucking Cronenberg film.
Videodrome.
You could come up with like a Videodrome of like industrialism and like hard metal kind of from this film. But it just doesn't do that. And there's no conversation either. There's no like conversation where they talk about what's going on because it is like a David Lynch nightmare film. But because of that as well, it's all like they focus on the dude's dick turning into a drill for fucking ages. To the point where like it's not funny anymore and I don't fucking care.
How long does that take in the film?
Easily 10 minutes.
Jesus, 10 minutes.
So a sixth of the film is focused on this drill dick.
The drill dick. Damn.
But like, there's a bit beforehand where I was like, oh shit, this is going somewhere. Because, so basically, right, what happens is this dude, we see this dude in this like weird like nest of metal and scrap metal and like just like wires and shit. And he like cuts open his leg and he jams a metal bar into his leg, and that's like I was like, oh fuck. Like I got a real like visceral reaction out of me.
Yeah.
And then he like gets up and he starts like running away or whatever, like hobbling. I can't remember. There's some reason why he's moving or whatever. And this is where I knew that the film might be in trouble with like boring me. And this is the very start of the film, because there's like shots of his feet like running and like hobbling along, whatever, and it goes on for slightly too long. And I was sitting there, I was like, oh no. Oh no, I know, this isn't a good sign. Like, only 5 minutes into the film and this shot is going on for too long, and I can feel myself reaching for my phone. Anyway, he gets hit by a car, and then it cuts, and this dude's like shaving, and he finds like a bit of like metal coming out of his face, and it's a different dude. And then he goes to like go to work or whatever, and everything is like everything is metally, and everything is like really cramped and enclosed, and like it's very claustrophobic, and like, you know, modern technologically advanced society is like closing in on him, I guess is what it's going for. And then he's sitting beside this woman, and the woman like looks at the ground. She sees this like piece of metal that has like skin and flesh over it, and we see from the flesh technology thing, Cronenberg monster, whatever the fuck it is, we see from its perspective, and it looks like a screen, and it's like cutting between her reaching over and trying to touch it, which went on for fucking ages as well. Like, she sees it, and then a minute later she's touching it, and I was like, why is it taking so long for everything to fucking happen? But anyway, and it's like intercut with like this dude that's in like this, like, again, a metal nest kind of thing, and you're like, oh, so this guy's like connected to whatever is going on. Whoever this dude is, he's connected to everything. And then she touches it, and she kind of turns into like a metal zombie kind of thing and chases after the dude. And then when she gets him, this weird like speeding up effect happens, and then all of a sudden they're in the dude's garage. And I was like, oh, right. That was confusing. It didn't do anything. It just made it made the change of scenery really confusing. What was the point in that? And then that plays out, whatever, and then he slowly starts to turn into like more of a metal monster thing. But there's a bit where his girlfriend or his fiance or his wife, the woman that lives with him or whatever, he's dreaming, and he imagines her with this like, she's like a metal monster kind of thing or whatever, and she gets up and she has this like tube or whatever, and I was like, oh, that kind of looks like a dick. And then it like, the film makes it way more literal that it is a dick, because she sodomizes him with it. Oh god. And I was like, oh yeah, you know, I get it, you know, technology and women, because like that's like an interesting dynamic I think that you can explore. Is that like, I think we talked about it before at some point, but the like blending of technology and women, which is always done because like the unknown other for the man or whatever, which is like went on in this, but then she fucking pegs him with her
with her drill dick,
with her tube metal dick or whatever. This is before this is before, by the way, his drill dick comes into Jesus. It. So it does the same thing fucking twice.
Jeez.
And then he gets a metal. Then they're fucking or whatever, and then he gets a drill dick, and they focus on that for fucking ages, and shit goes on or whatever. And it's like the ideas of like technology and blending, and like way more like physically like embedding itself in the human body. Like, that's literally just like what the film is, and that's as far as that like thesis kind of goes. It doesn't really explore those ideas or anything. It is literally like, wouldn't it be fucked up if your face had loads of metal sticking out of it, and then all of a sudden your dick turned into a drill?
Yeah, that would not be pleasant.
But I guess there is something like, there is like this like because it's a Japanese film, so I feel like there probably is something to do with like this like origin story of this superhero kind of thing, because it's called Tetsuo the Iron Man, and Tetsuo, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm assuming that it's a reference to Akira, because Tetsuo in that film and that comic, he like had this happen to him. He started blending into like technology and stuff like that, but that's what happens in Akira as well. So I'm assuming it's like, it's obviously talking about that because Akira was fucking huge in Japan. And Akira deals with those themes way more fucking intelligently than I think Tetsuo the Iron Man is. Even though Tetsuo the Iron Man is literally focusing on one fucking thing. But I'm sure there's stuff to do with like with all that shit. But I don't care. I didn't enjoy the film really at all. I thought the fucking body horror was cool, but then it kind of like didn't explore it in an interesting way or anything. I was disappointed about this movie.
Yeah, it doesn't sound that good, to be honest.
It's not. Like, you could watch it and you could enjoy it because it is like Cronenberg and David Lynch had a real fucked up night in Japan.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great concept, but yeah, it doesn't sound very enjoyable. You know, I've heard good things, but that report is pretty bleak, to be honest.
Yeah.
TBH.
Yeah, I reckon. Well, it's only an hour long, so it's not like a huge time commitment. It's worth like knocking on and seeing what you think of it. I watched it on Shudder, which I'm going to be getting rid of soon because Shudder's got fuck all on it. I'm getting rid of Shudder. After I watch Mandy, I'm getting rid of it.
Have you ever seen Mandy?
No, not yet.
You have to watch Mandy, man.
I've heard nothing but like literally nothing but good things.
Very good, very very good. Cosmatos, or what's his name? Panos Cosmatos. Yeah. You should watch Beyond the Black Rainbow as well.
I've heard of that as well, and I need to watch that.
Many years ago when I was not prepared to watch it. I was not old enough to watch it, but I watched it when it I don't know, a year or two after it came out. I was like, what? It doesn't make any sense. I went back and I was trying to see if it makes any sense. It actually doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. But it's really cool. That's a really weird film. Definitely worth a watch. I think Nick Spheres did a video on it, which I found really cool. I can't remember the interpretation, but
she's got fucking unreal videos. Her videos are so good.
Yeah, but she had a really good take on that film.
Yeah, her hot takes are great.
Yeah.
really, really compelling arguments. She does a lot of videos now at the moment about like just weird, fucked up, disturbing movies and whether or not they have any merit, which is an interesting argument, I feel like, because she fucking phenomenal fucking segue, by the way, Mark, that you set up there. She talked about this film called Possession, which I watched.
Look at that.
She mentioned it in a video, and I heard about Possession many, many times, and I took the plunge, and I watched it, and my God, Possession is a fucking bad time. Oh my God, it's great, but oh my God, it is a bad time. Possession is by this guy, Andrzej Zulawski, I think is his name. Zulawski's anyway his second name. I don't know what his first name. I think it's Andrzej or something like that. He's a Polish filmmaker. He has a film called Over the Silver Globe or The Silver Globe or something like that, which is apparently amazing, but it was heavily edited down and cut by the Polish Communist Party. So he had to like leave Poland a couple of times to make films, and one of the films he made is Possession, which stars Sam Neill, and it stars, I need to find her name because this woman is fucking amazing.
Isabella Adjani.
She is fucking amazing in this film. Oh my God, right. So, Possession is the story about basically man and a woman. Their relationship is gone to shit and it is deteriorating. And there's like adultery going on with her, and it's just a fucking bad time for everyone. The opening like 30 minutes of this film were so intense that I had to hit pause and I had to go and I had to watch an episode of Gravity Falls and then come back to it because I just couldn't handle what was going on. And this is before there's any like violence going on. I stopped just before like they were having this argument in the kitchen, and she was using like an electric knife or whatever, and I was like, I can't deal with this. This is too intense, because the way that she pulls these faces, it's like you're literally looking into the face of someone that is about to cause a lot of harm to you, because it's just her face looking at the camera for some of these shots, and it's like she's looking at you. It was a really personal feeling from it. It's a really it was, I had such a visceral reaction to everything in this film, which is what it's trying to do, which is great. And then Sam Neill is unrecognizable in this film. Holy shit, that dude, like this came out just like a couple years before Jurassic Park. That dude fucking aged in between this film and Jurassic Park. Holy shit! It took like 10 years or something like that, but he looks like 20 years.
Sam Neill, this guy's he's underrated.
He is underrated. This film made me realize that Sam Neill is really underrated because he's great in this film, but he's nothing to Isabel Jani, whatever the fucking her name is. Oh my god, she is so good in this film.
Oh man, Sam Neill looks so different.
He looks so different, doesn't he?
What the fuck?
I didn't know it was Sam Neill until I looked, because I was watching. I was like, that dude looks kind of familiar, and then I looked up. I was like, oh shit, it's Sam Neill. What the fuck?
Yeah, he looks. I don't know. He looks like fucking. I don't know. He just doesn't look like Sam Neill.
It doesn't, because like when I think of Sam Neill, I think of Jurassic Park.
Yeah. He looks sort of like Mark Hamill.
Yeah, he does. He does. He looks like Mark Hamill a bit in this film. But so like their relationship is deteriorating or whatever, and like the way that like Jodorowsky, like he really emphasizes Isabella's facial reactions and stuff like that to things, and she has this way of like having this smile where you're just like, there is like nothing beyond the smile but complete fucking insanity. And she's really scary. She's really fucking scary. And this is before she starts killing people.
Oh god.
Because she starts to kill people in the film. But like,
yeah, what's like the basic plot summary?
Basic plot summary is man comes home from work. He's a spy because this is set in West Germany, so he's a spy or some shit. You're not really told that much about him, but you know, his whole thing is like spying on people. So he comes home and his wife is like, "We're done. I can't do this anymore with you. You're like, you physically disgust me anytime that you're around," and stuff like that. And they have a kid, and he tries to like use the kid against her, like, "Oh, you hate your son or whatever," and he makes her hate her son by like constantly using the son as an argument, kind of, and she just fucking wants nothing to do with him. Anyway, he finds out that she has like another man, and then he goes to the other fella, and then you find out that like she's not staying with the other fella, and she's not staying with her best mate. So who the fuck is she staying with? And she's staying in an abandoned apartment block, and there's something in the abandoned apartment block that has tentacles and is not human until, well, maybe it does become human, and maybe it becomes a doppelganger. And you know, and that's at the very end of the film. And then like all the while that this is going on, Sam Neill brings his son to school, and the school teacher is also played by Isabel and is identical to her, and is the idea is like his idealized version of what his wife could be, which is completely like subservient to him, does whatever the fuck he wants, doesn't argue, doesn't do anything, whereas his wife is like, you know, maybe creating a new husband that will do everything that she wants,
which isn't ideal.
Which isn't ideal. Yeah, no, I like, but you can also like, there's all that shit going on, like, you know, what do we, you know, the film's title is Possession, you know, this like owning someone and like being possessed with the idea of someone, and that idea not being what you have in reality, or like literally possessing over controlling someone and stuff like that. Especially, you know, you're in West Germany, being watched on, being spied on. The Berlin Wall is constantly in the background. There's a lot of shit going on in this movie, and it's super cool. And it has, I think, like one of the most disturbing scenes in a film ever, and it is just Isabella freaking out in a subway station by herself, this like subway station tunnel. She's just freaking the fuck out for ages, and it's really, really awful, and it's hard to watch. And yeah, I really liked Possession. I really, really liked Possession. It's like a way better version of Antichrist.
Yeah, it sounds fucked up.
Like in every single aspect of it, and the way it's shot as well. Like there's really cool use of color as well in this film. Really well shot, really, really well acted. And it's like themes are consistent throughout the film, which is not what I could say for Antichrist.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. Definitely have to watch it.
It's great.
Where'd you watch it? Shudder?
The internet.
Oh, all right. I'll have to have a look.
I had to get creative. It might be on YouTube to rent, but I recommend it. I really do recommend it. I was fucked up afterwards. Oh man, I have not like this. It keeps like drilling its way back into my mind. Just like random moments. Like I was just like eat my fucking eggs this morning, and then it just fucking popped into my head, and I just started thinking about it again.
Yeah, maybe it sounds a bit intense for right now, but I'll definitely give it a watch.
I don't know. It's a good escape from things, because that's why I watched it. Because like, Nyack Spheres, whatever her name is, and it also appeared in like a Super Eye Patch Wolf video where he was talking about like disturbing movies and the merit of like disturbing movies, and it was like, yeah, it's really fucked up, but it also kind of takes you out of like the real life horror that we're living in at the moment.
I don't know.
It was just cool.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's got like you could definitely read into a lot of aspects of this movie, because it's not just the breaking down of a relationship between a man and a woman. There's more going on in it, and a lot of it is from the man's perspective, I feel, because like you can read the tentacle monster as, you know, as literally a tentacle monster, or you can see it as him discovering that his wife is fucking another man, and then that's how he views this other man or whatever. Like there's loads of shit like that you could do.
Yeah.
I guess there's a thing at the end of the film where you can kind of see it as like, you know, are we the same after like a really fucked up argument or whatever? Like all these, like, you know, we become different from these experiences, and the characters themselves are completely different from this experience as well by the end of the movie. So lots of cool shit going on in the movie. I really, really enjoyed it.
That sounds whopper.
Way better than Tetsuo. Holy moly.
Yeah, Tetsuo got fucking shot on there half an hour ago. Possession just sort of swept it all up.
Especially because like I watched Possession first, and the next day I watched Tetsuo, and I was like, man, Possession even did the body horror better.
Yeah, those Germans, those West Germans, what were they doing?
I need to see more of his films though. The Silver Globe or whatever the fuck. That looks fucking cool. It's like this really cool dark fantasy mixed with horror, mixed with sci-fi, mixed with loads of different shit. It looks cool. Yeah, what else have I been watching? Oh shit, I watched the new Pixar movie.
Oh yeah, Soul.
Like, what a 180. We're talking about fucking Possession.
That's a huge segue.
It's not even a segue, it's like falling down the stairs. It's like, oh shit, I'm on the second floor. Yes, I watched the new Pixar movie Soul. Have you seen it?
No, I have not seen it.
I recommend it. It's the best Pixar movie in fucking years. I think so. Anyway, it's like a blend. It's like Ratatouille of music mixed with the inside out of dying, mixed with Freaky Friday for a bit, which is the worst part. But there's a bit of Freaky Friday going on in this film, which is not good. But everything else is great. It deals with this like existential dread of dying in a really fucking cool way. Like the way that it depicts the afterlife is like he's on this like elevator going up to this like vast whiteness in front of him as he goes towards it, and it's really cool looking. Like the contrast of like white and black is really, really nice, and the way that he looks as well, because this little blue dude going around. It's a cool movie. Recommend it. I don't really have that much to say about it though. It's just, I enjoyed it. Really nice wholesome message at the end as well.
Yeah, I haven't seen any Pixar films since Toy Story 3, I think.
I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think of the Pixar movies, but I feel like it's the best Pixar movie since Toy Story 3.
I'd say so. They haven't been good, have they?
It's probably better than Toy Story 3 as well.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Like, it's better than Coco.
The Good Dinosaur and all that bollocks.
Jesus, it kicks the shit. The Good Dinosaur gets fucking curb stomped by this movie.
Inside Out. You know? They've all
better
been,
than Inside Out.
They've all been limp.
People really like Inside Out. I don't like Inside Out. Inside Out's alright.
I think it's alright. It's just not that good.
It's got really cool ideas, but the film itself is just like, oh, we gotta get from point A to point B. And I think that's...
Even the idea, it's like... I'm absolutely certain that I saw the idea on TV shows when I was a kid.
Yeah. You know? It's not a fucking novel concept. It's like that film... What's that film? Dave? Or whatever? The one with Eddie Murphy? With all the little Eddie Murphys in him?
Yeah, it's just Dave, but with Pixar. It's just a remake of Dave.
Yeah, Jesus, that's a weird movie. Dave. But yeah, I don't know. I think like Inside Out could have been way cooler if it kind of like explored. No, not even if it explored, because I think it explores the idea of like the mind in such a cool way. If it just framed it in a better way and had a better.
If it just had better jokes, better actors,
a better reason, like a better
structure,
a better narrative, I guess. Because it has cool ideas, but I also don't know how else you could do it. I don't know.
Just don't do it at all. Make a better film.
Just make a better film?
Yeah.
Make a good movie, Pixar. I dare you. Because even like Soul was like, I was like, this is easy. I was like, for a point, I was like, okay, it dipped a little bit, but you're like, this is going for like a 5 out of 5. And then the Freaky Friday shit happened. I was like, fuck. And also, there's a straight up scene that is just fucking American Beauty.
Oh, the plastic bag.
Except this time it's a leaf.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, there's beauty in all aspects of life. I was like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, it's like, this isn't 2001 anymore. You can't, say that and get away with it. It's too shallow.
I can't believe a Pixar movie made me think of American Beauty. But yeah. And then, but the ending is, I feel like the ending is a bit of a cop-out. But it's also a kid's movie, so there's no way that you could end it with him dying.
Well, that'd be pretty cool, though.
It would be cool, but also they weren't going to do it. But I kind of wish that they did, because it kind of, I don't know.
Yeah,
but also
we need a dark Pixar story.
Well, you got the opening of Up, which isn't even dark.
And we need like a Joker movie, but with Pixar.
What would that look like? We need the falling down, but made by Pixar.
There's just no redemption. There's no moral to the story.
But because it's made by fucking Disney as well, it is just straight up racist. Like, it doesn't even try and hide it.
Yeah.
It's like especially if you go back to like old Disney. You got like, remember Donald Duck was a Nazi for like one of them?
Was it?
Yeah, there's like a short word. Donald Duck is a Nazi.
Like,
and I mean like a literal Nazi. He like goes on the march and all with them.
Yeah, Disney.
Yeah,
Disney. What are they doing?
Walt Disney, I don't know, a bit of a...
He hasn't paid for his sins.
Not yet, old man. Once they defrost his body...
Yeah, we're going to defrost him. First thing we're doing.
I'm going to get him with my drill dick.
Yeah, Tetsuo.
Do you want to move on to the...
Let's do some listener questions. Alright, if you want to ask a question, give some feedback, do whatever, you can get to us at paro_pod on Insta, on Twitter, or you can email us.
You're so close.
Oh, so close. You can email us at theparopod@gmail.com. There you go.
Great recovery though, Mark. Great recovery. This first question is coming in from Cal. Shout out to Cal. Good question, asking us favorite film of 2020. I think we might both have the same answer for this. I'm thinking of Ending Things.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
I think that's definitely my favorite film of the year. It also kind of depends on like what is our like framing for like 2020, because officially, if we're talking about Ireland, The Lighthouse and Parasite are also 2020 films.
Is it?
Yeah, but I don't think they count because they don't count.
No,
they're 2019. Ireland might have got them in 2020, but they're 2019 films.
Yeah, I go with Ned Kelly, the true story of the Kelly gang.
Oh yeah,
which was I watched that on the day of lockdown in the Lighthouse. I left the Lighthouse and then I checked my phone as I was walking across the Smithfield Square, and there's a tweet went up: the Lighthouse is now closed. I was like, wow, this is historic. I still have the ticket.
Great.
Still have the ticket. It was the last film I saw before, like back in March. Very good film. Sort of went under the radar because of,
because of when it came out.
Because of everything else that happened when it came out. But it's really good, and it's a cool take on an extremely cool story, which has sort of been overdone because it's been done so many times. But it's like it does it in a really original way, which is still kind of faithful to the original story, but also purposely deviates in a way that is faithful to the spirit of the story it's trying to tell. Very cool. Like, do you know the Ned Kelly story? All that stuff.
Only in so much as like how much have you've told me about Ned Kelly. I don't know much about the actual dude. Just a few bits.
Yeah, he's just this mad bastard in 19th century Australia. Went around killing Victorian police because they'd wronged him or whatever. They were discriminated against him based on whatever, like the fact that he was like Irish Catholic in the British administration, and the fact that he was just like he's basically a scumbag, and his family were like lower class and stuff. So he killed he shot an officer's wrist and then had to flee into the countryside. But then he's a bushranger for 2 years, and he like assembled a gang of people, and they went around robbing banks and like stuff like that. But it was like the Robin Hood kind of thing. They never hurt an innocent person, like technically. They always just went after police and stuff. And their final showdown was at a town called Glenrowan, where they planned to derail a train full of police and then like massacre all of them as they left the carriage or whatever.
Yeah.
But someone
that's what I know of Ned Kelly, that he tried to do that.
Yeah. Someone ratted them out, so it didn't happen in the end. But he'd also built a suit of armor for him and his entire squad, and so they had like a final showdown with the police where they're dressed up in like Iron Man suits basically. And it's pretty much the coolest thing to ever come out of like the Wild West or anything like that. It's a good story, but it's been told, like the first ever feature film was about the Kelly gang in 1905 or something like that. It was like 2 hours long, but like films weren't made that long back then. So it's first ever feature. And then
this has been retold to bits then
in
cinema.
Mick Jagger had a version, Heath Ledger had a version.
I guess it's because like as well, like it's such a theatrical cinematic story.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Like there's a dude fucking derailing trains and making Iron Man suits to take on the police. Like it's just fucking ludicrous.
It's just out there. But the new one, it takes it on in a really cool way, because it's based on the book, which is like based on a letter that Ned Kelly he didn't write it. I don't think he could. I don't think he could write, but someone dictated it for him, or he dictated it to them. It's called like the Gerald Airy letter, I think, and it's actually really like he was really eloquent, and he has all these like cool sort of turns of phrases, and it's a pretty cool manifesto in and of itself. Very long as well, but he dictated it at like a bank robbery, trying to justify his crimes to like the public and whoever is going to read it in the newspapers, and like a lot of what he says is obviously not true, and he's trying to justify what he did to himself. Yeah, and trying to like mythologize the Kelly gang as like a phenomenon, and like the book and then the film sort of take that and run with it, and like they sort of lean into the mythical aspects of it, and imagine what how Ned would have told the story. Like the film's really cool, really colourful. It has Nicholas Hoult in it. He's very, very good. And the guy from 1917, British actor, he's really good as Ned Kelly. Russell Crowe is also in it as Ned Kelly's mentor. It's really worth a watch. I don't know if it's on. I think it's on Prime, actually, Prime Video.
I think it is on Prime. Yeah. That sounds fucking good as well. That sounds really good. Another film that I really like this year, fucking Horse Girl. Did you watch Horse Girl?
No, I haven't seen it.
Horse Girl is like, I don't know why I think people watched it not really because it's got 2.9 on Letterboxd and it's like a 6 on IMDb. But like if you go into it knowing that it's a weird fucking film, like it's like that. I think it's because like people didn't know that it was a weird film and like really like out there kind of film.
It's about horse girls.
No, it's about this girl, and she takes care of horses or whatever, but you kind of know that like she's not really all there. Like there's definitely, she's suffering from something, and everyone around her kind of knows that, but they're like, they're really kind to her, and like, they let her take care of the horse, even though she's like, oh, this is my horse, even though it's not actually her horse. But like, like the people around there kind of know, like, yeah, like, let her be or whatever. And then you find out that her grandma suffered from like schizophrenia, and thought that she was being abducted by aliens. And then the girl that we follow in Horse Girl also starts to be like, I think I was abducted by aliens. But like normally I think like in a film like that you would see it from other people's perspective trying to deal with that, whereas this is her perspective of it. And like, she'll like walk from one room to the next, like she'll be in the shower or whatever, and then she'll like pull across the curtains and go out the bathroom, and then all of a sudden, like, oh no, she's actually in work, and she's naked in work, and she's confused, and you're confused, but you feel like she does. She's like, oh, what the fuck? I didn't realize I was here, and shit like that. And then there's lots of stuff like that, and then in the end, it's like, ooh, was she actually abducted by aliens or not?
Oh, that's pretty cool. I love when that happens.
It is cool. It's really, really cool. People fucking hated it. It seems like, but that's just genuine. People just didn't fucking get it, or like it wasn't what people expected it to be. I think it got really harshly rated because it was a Netflix original film and it stars Alison Brie.
Yeah.
So a lot of people would have clicked onto it and then
expecting one thing,
rejected it for what it actually turned out to be. Because I wouldn't have watched it. It's like, oh, Alison Brie's in this film called Horse Girl, and it's a Netflix original. I wouldn't have watched it, but then I heard that it was actually. No, it's actually really weird. And I was like, okay, I'll watch it. And it's one of my favorite films of the year.
Sounds like a comedy or something, like a lighthearted comedy.
Oh my god, no, it's not.
Yeah.
It's really, really hard. It's really disturbing and fucked up. There's a really funny bit where this guy is talking about, like, he's like, they're sitting around smoking a joint or whatever. And he's like, yeah, I got this idea for a concept album. It's called Baker's Dozen. And it's going to be 12 tracks on the album. And it's just shit like that. Like, it's really, really funny.
Yeah, I'd definitely give that a wee gander.
It's on Netflix as well. It's very good.
That's handy.
A lot of my favorite films of the year, like Trial of Chicago 7, Horse Girl, I'm Thinking of Ending Things, all three of them are Netflix films.
What does that mean?
Which means that fuck out. The only film that I saw in cinema this year that wasn't The Lighthouse was Tenet.
Tenet. Tenet was alright.
It's alright. But yeah, like fuck all films came out for obvious reasons. So there's a couple of gems for you, I think.
A few hidden gems. A few
but
diamonds
again,
in the rough.
Diamonds in the rough. Fucking Trial of Chicago 7. But yeah, I think of Ending Things is also like this weird fucking cerebral film.
Yeah. No one would have seen that if it wasn't on Netflix.
Or you have to hunt it down nearly.
Yeah, I think it got a wider audience anyway because of Netflix.
Yeah, and because of that, I think it's got like a way worse fucking rating on like IMDb and stuff like that.
Does it?
I guarantee it. Well, like like 3.5 on Letterboxd.
3.5, is that bad?
Yeah, it's not bad, but no, it's not really bad. But I feel like, how much? Although it's not as good as the other films, I guess. But, like what are Synecdoche, New York, 4.1. Synecdoche, New York is a far more confusing film, and arguably would be hated by more people because it's way more confusing. But also, it didn't get the widespread release that I'm Thinking of Anything's got. Same with Anomalisa 3.8, and that's actually probably that. Anomalisa is a better film than I'm Thinking of Anything.
Man, that girl from New York. Remember, she told me about Synecdoche, New York, how to pronounce it. I completely forgot what she said. That's really annoying me.
But that makes complete sense. I never knew that as well about Synecdoche, New York, whatever. That it's a place.
Yeah, I thought it was just a word. It's a place.
But it is a word as well. It's a word to describe something.
Yeah.
Like that, a Synecdoche is an actual thing, but it's also a place, which makes sense why the film is... Charlie Kaufman, what are you doing?
I completely forgot what the pronunciation is, though.
Synecdoche.
No, it's something else. It's like
I don't care. It's
Synecdoche. I can't remember what it was.
Say it like Synecdoche.
Something like that.
These films that are kind of art housey kind of films. Not like art house, but weird, confusing films. When they get a wider spread release and more people know about them, they watch them and they fucking hate them because they don't know what to expect, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Fucking plebs.
Fucking plebs. Get used to it, bro. Charlie Kaufman is the man.
You don't get it, bro. It's Synecdoche.
You don't get it, bro. It's a place. Which I guess it kind of ties into the whole reason why people hated Spring Breakers, because they went into a film expecting one thing and it's just not that.
Yeah, because they're fucking plebs. That's what it's all about. It's it's the great joke that they played on the audience.
I admire films that do that.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
And I can't believe Horse Girl, which isn't even a mad, confusing film. It's like, oh, she's kind of fucking losing it. It's basically, it's not like it represents anything. it's a girl suffering with like
Schizo.
like whatever schizophrenia. Like it's just that is what it is. There's nothing like more to like really read into it, unless you want to read into it in the sense of it being that she actually was abducted by aliens.
That's what I will do. I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
When I watch this film.
Do it. It
sounds really good.
So Connor, we have the second question, which came in from Connor, but it deals with Tropic Thunder. And Connor, we are gonna answer your question, but at a later stage. We've taken note of it. We have a note of it, but we're gonna talk about it in a later stage because Tropic Thunder
Watch this space.
might be coming up soon.
That's a very good show. We're going to talk about it next week. Or the week after, something like that.
So, hold your horses, Connor. We'll get to that.
Hold your horse, girls. We got this.
Hold your horse, girls. Gee bless. I think that's going to be it. That's another episode.
That'll be it for today, I suppose.
Super Corona Bros do another fucking episode.
Keeping positive.
That's all you got to do in these times. You got to stay positive. Stay coronavirus positive.
That's all you gotta do. Just stay positive. Oh, that's a great outro.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll be back next week talking about
Texas Chainsaw.
Perfect.
So give it a watch. See you then.
All right. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Bye bye.